Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. The presidency has finally responded to the plea made by the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, talking about Pastor Enoch Adeboye. Don't forget that on the 1st of October, which was the 60th anniversary independent anniversary of Nigeria, so many Nigerians spoke concerning the way forward for the country, considering a lot of issues that we are having. Enoch Adeboye was among such people who had to let the presidency understand the need for restructuring so that we may not find Nigeria being break up because of the pressure currently on ground. But presidency say have decided to speak, and that's what we're going to be looking at in a jiffy. And also look at what are the responses of Nigerians to the response given by the presidency to the General Overseer of Redeemed Christian Church. Let's look at the news in the detail. The presidency on Sunday night reacted to recent call by individuals and groups for the restructuring of the country, describing such calls as unwarranted and unpatriotic. The senior special assistant to President on Media and Publicity, Gaba Shehu, said these in a statement made available to journalists. The General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, had on Saturday joined other prominent Nigerians to call on the federal government, led by the President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired, to urgently restructure the country to save it from break up. The General Overseer of Redeemed Church, who spoke at a symposium alongside the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, former governor of Cross River State and former presidential aspirant Donald Duke, and a former minister of education, Obi Ezekwesili, warned that it was either the country restructured as soon as possible or its break up. According to him, he said, you don't have to be a prophet to know that one, which means it is not, thus say the Lord. But Shehu describes such calls as recurring threat to the corporate existence of the country. The statement reads, the presidency responds to the recurring threat to corporate existence of the country with factions giving specific timeline for the president to do one thing or the other, or else, in their language, the nation will break up. This is to warn that such unpatriotic outbursts are both unhelpful and unwarranted, as these government will not succumb to threat and take any decision out of pressure at a time when the nation's full attention is needed to deal with the security challenges facing it at the time of COVID-19 health crisis. Repeat, this administration will not take any decision against the interests of 200 million Nigerians who are the president's first responsibility under the constitution, out of fear or dread, especially in this hour of a health crisis. The president, as an elected leader under this constitution, will continue to work with patriotic Nigerians through and in line with the parliamentary processes to finding solutions to structural and other impediments to the growth and well-being of the nation and its people. Wow. And this has triggered a lot of responses from Nigerians, and I'm going to take few responses from faithful Nigerians. This one said, North is always afraid of Nigeria breakup because they can't survive the crushing poverty and terrorism that Islam has blessed them with. South been their only lifeline has been their only lifeline since 1912, when Lord Lugard returned from India to head the Royal Niger Company of West Africa. Parasitism is to not the only survival instinct. We Niger Deltans will put a stop to these soonest. Another one here replies, said, then Nigeria will break up by force. It is either you restructure or risk break up. Enoch Adeboye. Another person says here, the threat of government is threatening its own citizen that is promised same restructuring but failed to fulfill it. So many responses. The last one I'm going to take here says, Buhari, he said, the truth is, It is easier for Southerners to get Nigeria restructured than for a Southerner to be president in 2023. But greed will not let us. Let us continue deceiving ourselves. A lot of responses coming in. Well, for me, looking at this issue and the seriousness of an issue like this, I feel that the government would have given ears to some of these things and have a heart-to-heart discussion with some of these very influential Nigerians. I tell you the truth. It's important for us to sit down together and talk things out than responding the way the presidency just did. I know he has some very good reasons for reacting, the way he just did and however, but then we have to realize that this current government have some spokespersons. I'm talking about, sorry, these Nigerians have some key persons who have heard or overheard the cry of the people and who feel dutiful to tell the government about what the intention of Nigerians are in the face of the stiff crisis we are currently going through. Yeah, COVID-19 came, hit us real hard. There's other cases also, insecurity here and there and all of that. But if restructuring can help reduce some of the burden from the central down to the regions, I feel that it's a good deal. I tell you the truth. Because if we are truly practicing federalism, we need to understand that so much power must not be concentrated in the center. We need to relinquish some of these powers down here so that they can build up their system and see how they can manage their economies far better than everything just going straight to the presidency. Because if you want to tell yourself some good truth, you will bail me, you will assure or you accept this truth that the presidency is overpacked with so much responsibility. Yes, we have ministers and all of that, but to some extent, if there is a disintegration of this power down to the regions and all of that, a lot of things can be handled stresslessly. You understand? How can they still be calling on the presidency talking about road? Calling on the presidency, talking about insecurity, like this issue of insecurity. Some of the suggestion made by the president, by Enoch Adeboye, was very good. Why not there be a particular people or someone in the presidency who is charged with the responsibility of fixing insecurity, and he will be working alongside with the current minister of that's the man in charge of army. They'll be working hand in hand, but just turning deaf ears to it and feeling that it's an unpatriotic move by these top people who are very influential in our society. For me, I don't think that's a good one. I tell you just the truth. I don't think it's a good one because the Bible, sorry, the Christian book, that's the Bible, made us to know that there is safety in the team of counselors. But then the safety can only come if he who is being counseled, heed the advice of the counselors. If he refuses to give in to the advice, then safety may be reduced to the barest minimum, and which will be detrimental to the country. Yeah, you have people. One of the things very notable about the game of politics or the game of leadership is that you that is in the field leading, you may not know, you may not see some very little things that other people are seeing, which can turn around the game. You understand? And these are some of the things that key personalities in Nigeria are looking at. And they just feel that if some of these things are being adopted, some of these changes are being integrated into the system, we will end up celebrating. That's why you see them voicing out. They're trying to make the presidency understand, well, sir, you've done so well, but I feel that if you make this move, a lot of things will be corrected. Because hey, the pressure that we have seen coming from the southeast, they also now the southwest are now a part of it, is so serious that if we do not take time, Nigeria may not be wholesome again. And the beauty of this country is in the fact that different ethnic groups have decided to work as one individual. That's what makes it really great. So right now, if we must keep it together, there need to be some bending. I tell you the truth. There is no need to be afraid of anything, because Nigerians, we want the best for this country. We want this country to be home. Most of these top guys, nobody wants to hear these issues some persons are carrying around and all of that. Instead, let's restructure. Let's see how we can make this country better. But however, I like to leave it. They go to our comment section. Let's interact. What do you have to say about this response given to Adeboye and other persons who have been angling or who have been asking for restructuring from the current administration? Let's interact in